Hardworking queen, positive queen, loyal queen, successful queen, loving queen, God-fearing queen, respectful queen, ambitious queen. The everyday queen. You know the everyday queen. You know the everyday queen. Ooh, 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 the everyday queen. You know the everyday queen.
And welcome to the Everyday Queen.
I am Rudy.
And I am Tina.
Welcome again.
And we are so excited. The topic today is going to be crown of relationships. So get excited. Woo-hoo.
Who doesn't like talking about relationships? Let's talk about it.
All right, let's go. But before we do that, we need to talk about our crown news. What's happening in the world? What's going on, Queen?
Yes, let's talk about Russell. Yes, and Sierra.
Did you see them? Okay,
yes.
Talk about building.
Yes.
That's how you build, okay? You start together, and you come together, you build, you grow. They are doing it. Go ahead, Russell and Sierra.
Yes, kudos to you two.
Yes, all right. Build together and grow.
Yes, because you don't never know what the end result is.
Come on with
Just
it.
Building an empire.
All right, yes. Yes, let's go. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Again, our title is called Crown of Relationships. So we have a great speaker today. Rudy, go ahead and introduce this wonderful king.
Yes. So today we have Mr. Matthew Horn. He's a motivated speaker and an author and the president of Optima Success International, a speaking and publishing company in the DC area. He is internationally authority of the Maximize Human Potential. Matthew is the author of The Universe is Inviting You In, and All We Have Is Now. He also has been known as a well-known public speaker. He also talked on the show with Les Brown. He is the author of The Choice the Young Black Man Guide to Success Living and How to Get Beautiful Woman. All right, and everything else you want in life. Growing up, Matthew always wanted to play for the NBA. He positioned himself to live in the reality through attaining a full scholarship to play on a Division I college team for basketball. Much to be surprised, Destiny revealed his true calling during his college years as he discovered a passion for motivating and speaking. Matthew was told by his professor he would never make it as an English major.
All right.
And that would not be his final say so.
Come on, it won't be the final stop. Come on with it. Come on.
Matthew empowers audience to live their unique truth, independent of opinions of others. Matthew messages quickly going across the U.S. globe through his books, audios, and motivational speeches. He has served as a guest on the Washington Post, The Root DC section. He is also the creator of the show Matthew C. Horn Live. So let's welcome Mr. Matthew Horn.
Woo! Welcome, King. Welcome. So
yes, ladies, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for having me, ladies.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump right into it. How do you define a relationship with a significant other?
Well, a romantic relationship with a significant other, it can happen on many levels. If you're in like an official relationship where you all are like boyfriend and girlfriend, I guess, and that's what we're talking about here. Yeah. That is a situation where you all have chosen each other. Okay. And, more or less, you both have options, but you looked at each other and said, you are my optimal option. And a romantic relationship, when it's healthy, you see things in that person that makes them want to be your final dating destination. But the romantic relationship stage is where you all take a prolonged look at each other and gauge the compatibility. Okay. And a good relationship is two people coming together that already have a great quality of life. So that means that the other person can only offer them companionship, meaning the only thing they can do is enhance your life, because your life is already enhanced the way that it is. So a good, healthy relationship, two self-sufficient, self-loving, mentally healthy people coming together, engaging compatibility, and seeing if you all can be each other's final dating destination.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, very good points. Okay, so I have a question for you in regards to establishing a healthy relationship. Where do you start from? Because sometimes we have a tendency, we have two different people come together, raised in two different environments, and brought
Mhm.
up totally two different ways.
Come on with it, Queen.
So how do you build that
Mhm.
strong relationship
So
in
true.
regards to being healthy?
Mhm.
Well, that's a great question, and it's something that the majority of people get wrong. If you really think about it, if you look at how like divorce rates and people being in unhealthy relationships, it's like how many people can you reach out and touch, and they're in a healthy marriage or a healthy relationship. So that's something that has to be acknowledged. A healthy relationship begins here. It means that you know yourself. Okay, you heal from your trauma. We've all been through stuff, but you've taken the measures to heal and become a whole person. Once you become a whole person who knows yourself, then now you can have an eye for the person who is compatible with you and who will be congruent in your space. I'm of the school of thought that you master relationships and you master your life when you take personal responsibility for every outcome that you have. So if you let an unhealthy person into your environment, you never blame that person, you blame yourself. And when you have that mindset and you're the best version of yourself, you're mentally, spiritually, and emotionally and financially well, when you're that best version of yourself, now you have an eye for the person who would be your complement and who would be your match. So really the answer to that question, you start the healthy relationship by being a person who is mentally, physically, emotionally, and mentally in the best place yourself.
And it starts within yourself.
Yes.
So I do have a question. So you do the work, you work on yourself, you're trying to be healthy, and you're in the relationship, but the relationship is not becoming healthy because both of y'all are just at each other's throats. It's not working, and so whatever you had done before, prior to, it's just not working.
Yes.
So how do you think that counseling with couples, or like how can you get the relationship back healthy? Because there might be some people, 2020, we was all at home with your other significant other, if you were in a relationship, and you might have a lot of more arguments than you did prior to. So how do you get that relationship back healthy if it's like a lot of, maybe disagreements and everything? What would be your advice?
Yeah, I like what you said. It's nothing wrong with incorporating a third party,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and but the main thing is this: conflict is it's rooted in a difference in ideologies and philosophies and
Okay.
beliefs and just the way that you two move, right? So you have to, even before you implement a counselor or a mental health professional or something like that, you simply communicate. You see where I'm coming from? You communicate and say, hey, this would make my experience with you better in this relationship. Okay. And it can work if that person values you enough to take a hard look and listen to what you presented to them. And then they can do the same to you. And then just try to get on some sort of common ground. I believe if two people, even if they're having a little bit of a rough patch, if they truly value one another, they're going to communicate and they're going to listen to one another. So that's a fundamental step in trying to get back on the same page. And if that doesn't work, and you really want to try to make this work with the other person, then involve someone else. And if that doesn't work, then you can have peace and say, hey, I did all I could do.
That's
That's
true.
true.
So I guess when do you get to the point to involve others? Because some people are like, oh, we just started this relationship 6 months ago. I don't think it's serious that we get another extra person involved. So in today's society, a lot of people just throw in the towel. Like, I'm not going to put in that extra work. So do you feel like there's a time span in regards to involving another person in your relationship, if that makes sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Essentially, if it's the beginning of the relationship and you all are bumping heads that much,
Yes.
take take that as a sign. Um, this is my personal definition that I wrote about in my new book, How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. I say compatibility is the absence of frequent conflict. Compatibility is the absence of frequent conflict.
Can you
Me,
okay, go ahead.
yeah, meaning that, okay, you're two human beings coming together. So there's going to be some adjustments. There'll be some misunderstandings and conflicts. But if it's frequent, the way that you described, that represents that the world looks completely different to you both. And you're better off just going in separate directions and finding someone who is more aligned with who you are, your beliefs, your ideologies, and just who you are at your core and at your essence. If it's starting off in the beginning and it's a bunch of conflict, take the blessing and the realization and don't go past go.
All right, don't force that. And
Yeah, don't go past go.
we force things that we should not. Just let it be, let it be.
Yeah. And one more thing, people are going past go because they don't know themselves.
Yeah. Yes.
No, they don't even know what they're compatible with because they don't even know themselves.
Point.
It's no coincidence that Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, self-actualization is at the top of all human needs, according to Abraham Maslow. Self-actualization is a deep oneness, awareness, and appreciation of yourself. Until you have those realizations concerning who you are, you're no good to anyone.
All right, definitely. I agree with that. So another thing I guess I want to expand upon when you said communication. I mean, everybody says communication.
Are you there, Matthew?
Are you there?
I'm here. Can y'all see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, so hold on.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Right.
That little thing pop up. Oh, but
sometimes you need that pole.
Yeah, pole. Water break. Okay. So the biggest thing when you said communication, I think that is the communication is the big key. But what is going on? I just think for like being a single woman, what is going on with the communication with the opposite, or just in a relationship? I feel like to even get into the relationship, why is the communication so off nowadays? People don't know how to have conversation. Everyone is hiding behind the text message, social media. Like, can you expand upon that a little bit more about communication and what is going on?
Well, it really doesn't matter what's going on outside. Once again, when you know yourself and your communication style, it's up to you to communicate that to the other person.
But what
You
I'm
see
saying,
what I'm saying?
okay, now, can I come back on that? So I do agree with that. But what I'm saying is, if I know I'm a strong E and I love to communicate. Queen knows. No, but I'm saying, what is the problem when you are trying to communicate with just a man in general, and his conversation is just he just always want to text. He doesn't want it. Like, that's the piece, or just have conversation and go a little more in depth. Like, prime example, we'll give example. I'm a more visual person. If I say, Queen, how you doing today? How was your day? It was, it was good. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about a worldly topic. Just not engaging in what is going on with that. I feel like we're losing that as far as a generation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that can be tied in.
But what is going on with society as well?
That can be tied into two things, and I'm just going to be completely honest.
Okay.
One is just emotional maturity. To understand how important communication is. So you may have two people who are at different levels of maturity emotionally and internally and things like that. And the other one is just pure desire. A man's communication, the extent of communication he has with you is going to be based on his desire for you. So believe me, okay, let's all be real with ourselves. Okay. If it's a man if it's a woman that he finds extremely attractive and, he really truly desires her, he's not short with her. He's not succinct in his words. He's a little more descriptive because he has an interest in that woman remaining in his space. People know how to communicate. Now, whether they're going to communicate effectively with you, once again, it's a reflection of their emotional maturity and just their overall desire for that woman that's across from them.
Okay. Okay. So basically, you're stating that it has to be something the man wants to do. But sometimes you come in a situation in regards to he'll do it to draw you in because in reality, that's just not him. He could be just like a laid back individual. So what happens then?
Can I spin upon that to Queen?
Okay.
So before you answer that, why do men show their representative in the beginning? If that's not who you are, don't put that on the table.
Yes,
Be who you are in the day one. To me, what is going on? Is it something else you're trying to gain? And when you gain it, then you just okay. So why is it not being real when you're arguing to know someone?
Well, that's to be expected. That's human nature. That's going to be people. The way that I equate that is I look at the scent, a scent, a cologne, a perfume, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you first spray a cologne or a perfume, those are the top notes. They're the most enticing notes. Okay. It's meant to draw you in. Okay. When people meet each other, they spray those top notes, those most enticing notes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a dry down period where the middle notes actually manipulate themselves in such a way that they're more enticing than the top notes. Okay. And then that's how people get a little bit better over time. That's the infatuation stage, the honeymoon, and this and that. And then the scent is in the most vulnerable position when it can no longer manipulate itself. Those are the base notes, right? The base notes is the truth of any scent, and time and vulnerability reveal the truth of any scent and any person. So it's never, you have to get in the habit of taking personal responsibility for the people that are in your life. Okay. You have to stay with them long enough, keep your eyes open enough to see them in a vulnerable position over time. Okay. Over time, life is going to deal them a vulnerable position where the truth of who they are, what's inside of them, is going to come out. Don't make premature decisions. Don't make emotional decisions. Okay. Know yourself. Okay. And understand human nature, that there's going to come a point in time that person's true colors are going to come out, and you judge them on that and nothing else.
And I think you hit on the head when you said emotional, because I think sometimes as women, as queens, sometimes we can put emotions before truly getting to know the core of the person. And so when the emotions evolve, and we know we put that vision together, honey, women can put a vision together. They already got the dress, they walking in the aisle. So it's like
we already on that board.
Yeah, we like what's the next way? And then when reality hits and that person, and like you said, the wall comes down, it's like, well, who is this person? And so I see that perspective means that emotional. And I think sometimes when we can be emotional in sometimes of how we move when we get to know someone.
Yeah. Just pay attention to the totality of that person. That's the best answer I could give.
Okay.
Pay attention to the totality and just know yourself, so that you can gauge truly what you're seeing. Is it something that you want in your space, or is it something that you don't?
Correct. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. All right, so I agree with that point. That was go ahead. We had to marinate little sizzle for a minute. Yeah. So, just from your perspective as a king, how do you feel dating queens and just getting to know women? How do you feel it is now in society? I don't know.
Oh man.
You have to go personal, but just in
this new generation.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, oh man, because of the reality of what's going on out here, not me.
Oh, okay. We want to go on the same page with
that. Dating, it's a bit of a tumultuous experience if you want to really look at it. I've just been coming to some acceptances and some realizations lately. The men that women and Black women have to choose from, I kind of feel for you. I'm just being honest. Even though there are a segment of very good men out here, I've just been, as of late, been seeing a lot of guys who have good women, and they just.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, sorry. I didn't go away, did I?
No, you come on back.
Oh, okay. This is the deal. Okay. There are good men out here, but they're kind of few and far between. Okay. The ones that are going to, be faithful, their word is their word. They're consistent. They're not afraid to express how they feel about you. Just good, solid men who are going to be a solid presence in your life. Okay. There's an absence of that. So I'm kind of feeling for Black women, especially when I'm meeting man after man. These guys are in their 50s, their mid 40s, and they're running wild on their wives and their girlfriends. They're cheating, and some of them are getting caught. They're begging, for the woman to give them another chance, and then the woman gives them another chance, and then they do the same thing over and over again. The pool. I wish I could use certain choice words on here that I won't. The pool is diluted, and it's rough. Okay, and then from a man's perspective, which you just asked me, your average woman is going to approach the man as if he owes her something. It's just like it's entitlement.
My eyes went up a little bit.
Yeah, it's just
What you mean?
it's just a bunch of entitlement, and it's puzzling because you say this man is in short supply, this optimal man.
Okay.
Like I'll use myself for example. Women say they want a tall man, an accomplished man, an attractive man. Someone who has his own, that doesn't need to be borrowing money from you, that doesn't have a rack of kids and things like that. And I show up and here I am. I'm the builder man. I'm the 6'5" book selling guy. All this other stuff. In shape and this and that. I'm the one that they say that they want. I'm the one that they're going to talk to their girlfriends about. I'm just being real. And they still do silly stuff.
You are defined like a hot commodity. So do you, when you show up, are you consistent when you show up?
Yes.
Like you're showing up, but are you really showing up, or are you showing up because of like I know I got it going on. You like your accolades on paper, beautiful.
That's what I said, because you look good on paper.
But how are you as far as wanting to be in a relationship?
Because it's a difference.
And that's what I'm saying. Okay, so a real man has made a declaration as to the type of man that he's going to be. He doesn't care about the world around him, because that can change. I could be in an accident. I could, have tough financial times. A real man is solidified within himself, whether he's up, whether he's down, he's solid, to answer your question. Okay. So this man enters a woman's life, and then she still will try to play games with this guy, try to feed him a plate of what, and say, you're going to eat this. I'm better than you. I'm more valuable than you. And you have the optimal man.
Uh-huh.
You have the optimal man right there in your face. And the narcissism is so deep that you can't even realize that this man is coming at you humble. He's being consistent. He's being a good man to you. He's elevating you spiritually and mentally. He's just being a good presence. And the woman still will say, I'm going to dominate you. I'm better than you. And let me show you. I'm going to feed you this plate of what, and you're going to stick around for it. That's what I consistently see. So you'll have some good experiences starting out, and then it's like clockwork. I'm going to dominate you. I don't care that you're being good to me. You're going to eat this plate of what, because I'm a bad. That is the experience of like the top tier man out here. So I gave it from the woman and the man's perspective.
Yeah.
So when you combine those, it's tumultuous terrain is what the dating field is right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Real.
So only thing when you said the woman wants to be dominant, I know I'm an independent woman and been carrying the load for a while, but I will say at the end of the day, I don't think it's about dominant. I think at the end of the day, we don't have a problem with the man leading, but let us see how you lead, and we can trust and build that. And I think a lot of women have been broken and hurt so many times, and being vulnerable with men, being genuine, doing all of that. So sometimes, yeah, when that good man does come around, you kind of like you're a little bit guarded, and it's not right. I totally agree with you, but I don't want to just say I'm better than you, or you gonna owe me something. But I truly want to see, can you really lead? Can you really show me that you are that man that's gonna stand up and be there and be consistent? All the things that I'm showing up, I want him to show up. So I think sometimes it's not about owing, but it's just more about being consistent, being there, being that man that you keep saying you are. Where are the actions for it? A lot of men walk, talking. They can talk and charm you and all of that, but when it's time to walk that walk, Where are you?
You're 100% right. And I think it's time for a quote.
Okay.
It's time for a quote.
Okay.
Okay.
What talk that talk? Okay.
I'm gonna take this right from the back cover of my new book, How to Be Appealing to Successful Black Men for Black Women. Okay, this is the real quote from the back cover. Okay.
I want to
A man does not deserve to be followed unless his wisdom has consistently elevated your quality of life over time.
Okay.
Every man does not deserve to be followed.
Mm-hmm.
His wisdom has to take you somewhere that you've never been. His influence, he has to be a presence. I made a video a while ago. It's called, Is He a Man or Is He a Presence? A man is just there, okay? A presence means that you immediately elevate spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Because he's centered in those ways. He's a presence because he impacts the space and the world around him wherever he goes. Because he's centered in those ways. So if a man is not a presence, no, he does not deserve to be followed. And I hold the man accountable. The first chapter in that book is, what is a successful Black man? Because every man does not deserve to be followed. But when you find that quintessential Black man, do yourself a favor and come at him at the same rate and speed and energy that he's coming at you.
All right. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. We're all here. We're not nobody up, nobody
going together.
Building together. All right.
That empire.
Come on with it.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you so much, Matthew, for your time. We really appreciate your great perspective and your honesty and your transparency. You have anything to say, Tina?
No, Matthew was great. He was awesome. Like, you really brought it home. Love that quote. So where can the audience get your book?
Okay. Everyone can get my book at www.matthewchorn.com, my website. And if you want to follow me, I'm branded Matthew C. Horn everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. And I would love to connect with you all. And it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you all so much for having me on today.
No problem. Thank you again.
Yes, thank you so much. And we will put his information down below in the comment section. So definitely check him out.
Yes.
All right, Rudy, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you?
Okay, well, let's do the word of the day.
What is the word, Tina? Love.
All right, so make sure you write it down. It is love. Okay, the giveaway is coming close.
Yes, write it down.
So I hope you enjoyed the Crown of Relationships. We definitely enjoyed it, learned a lot, different perspectives, and definitely check out Matthew's book. Now, of course, we're not going to leave you without our prank call. So you definitely want to listen to that. It's a banger again today. You're definitely going to laugh. Make sure you comment, subscribe, and like. So, and also, what does a healthy relationship look like to you? So make sure you comment again. All right?
Yes, it's going to be a good one. Love behind the fence.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello?
Hi, may I speak to Mr. Washington?
This him?
Hi, Mr. Washington. This is Mrs. Jones. How are you doing today?
Right.
I'm doing great. I'm interested. Do you build fences? Did I call the right number?
Ma'am.
Okay, great. So I would like to build a fence in the backyard. Me and my husband like to play in the backyard, but we need some privacy. Do you build tall fences?
Yeah, we build tall fences, but over 6 feet you gotta get approved by your county. Things like anything over 7 feet you gotta get approved by the county.
Oh, so what kind of justification can I do? Can I say me and my husband like to play and we like to purr and we like to make dog noises? What do I put in it for the county? Yes, I'm very serious. Mr. Washington, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm there here.
Okay.
I don't know what you have to tell the county. That's all on you.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to get it approved.
I don't think they're going to ask what you need this permit for. They just need to say what you building the fence for. That ain't not what you building the fence for.
Okay, what about the soundproof? Again, me and my husband are very loud, and sometimes I like to purr. So is it soundproof?
No, sisters ain't soundproof.
Oh, are you able to do that though?
No, I can't think of it. You gotta call somebody to do a wall so you soundproof wall.
Okay. So, but can you come out and take a look at it and let me know?
What?
Can you come out and take a look at it? Maybe you and your wife, and maybe we can purr.
Me and my wife could go out there first.
Yes.
What is this?
Yes. Well, Mr. Washington, I don't want to hold you any longer.